Married right out of college and basically clueless, this young couple started on a personal quest to strengthen their own marriage. What they learned drove them on a mission to fight, to build marriages around the world. Now, 29 years later, the parents of 4 children, Jim is a certified marriage intensive coach. Teresa holds a master's in marriage and family therapy. She is a licensed professional counselor, and together they are the co-founders of Family Matters First. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to build a mighty marriage, a fantastic family, and become a prepared parent by listening to this podcast daily. And now, your hosts, Jim and Teresa Adams.
Hi, my name's Jim Adams, along with my wife of the last 29 years, Teresa. Hey, Teresa, how are you?
I'm great, Jim. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Guess what we want to share with you today is the 12 top questions that a couple should ask before they get married. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds
because we talk about doing couple of different things. So we're going to talk about the 12 questions couples should ask before they get married. And question number 1 is, what did we say it was going to be?
What are our expectations?
Thank you for reminding me. What are our expectations? Most people get married without any discussion on this at all, so we're going to share with you some things you should be discussing. And those things are, because here's what we found out. Expectations have a huge impact on how a couple actually enjoys the marriage. And oftentimes, when expectations are not met, even though I didn't know Teresa had those expectations, it causes problems.
Correct.
So do you see this in the counseling room there,
Absolutely.
Teresa?
Absolutely.
All right. So why don't we start with this one? An expectation that couples often have: there will be no real conflict in marriage. Obviously there is going to be conflict.
Absolutely.
When you put 2 sinful people together, like Teresa and I, and yes, we are both sinful people, there's going to be, sparks are going to fly. There are going to be issues. So what happens when you go into a marriage with the expectation this is not going to happen, and it happens, you're kind of caught off guard, right?
Exactly. Yes. And here's another one.
Okay.
People say, love is all we need.
Love is all we need. Okay.
And now I do like that, and I do think when you get to a certain point and know about love, the biblical love, then we can say that. But I think some couples expect that mushy love to be all we need.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to do, or actually, if we haven't already done it, we're going to do a podcast episode on 1 Corinthians 13 love. Love is not selfish. Love is kind. Love is patient.
Now, if you got that kind of love.
That kind of love is all you need.
Exactly.
Okay. Here's another expectation that people often ask. Hey, our marriage is going to be just like my family's marriage, just like my parents' marriage. I never saw my parents arguing. Trust me, they did. You just didn't see it. And so, therefore, when you and I argue, since we didn't see that, we're caught off guard.
Right. We think, oh gosh, we're headed for divorce, and we are not.
Exactly.
People will have conflict, and they will have, things going wrong.
Exactly.
And like you say, if your parents didn't do it or didn't see it, do it in front of you, they did do it.
Another unmet expectation that people don't communicate is this: I shouldn't have to tell you what I want or need. You should just know. If you really cared for me, as a matter of fact, you would know.
Yeah, some people say, yeah, especially for men.
Exactly.
Men do not know. You do need to tell them. Tell them what you really want. Don't be holding it back. Express yourself, and so not only for the woman, but also for the man.
Okay.
Don't assume you know.
Okay.
Talk about it.
Here's another unmet, unrealized expectation that people don't talk about. We're going to be on the same page as it relates to sex. And we've done lots and lots of information, whether it's a podcast, whether it's something we've written, whether it's a blog. We've done lots of talking about men and women are different as it relates to sex. For men, it's more of a physical act.
Right, and for women, it's more of an emotional act. And so you just don't turn us on all of a sudden and expect us to perform.
Exactly.
We need a little help.
Women are more like slow
relax.
cookers, and men are more like microwaves. Okay, but if you don't know this, it can cause a problem.
Right, it can.
Okay, so what's another one?
My partner knows what really makes me happy.
Okay, well, how could I know what really makes you happy if you haven't told me what really makes you happy? I'm not a mind reader.
Right. once again, expectations. Talk about it.
Okay. I believe I really know my partner. Now, hopefully, if you have gone through the premarital thing, you really do know each other pretty well. But there are things when people live together in close proximity that were not previously visible that are now going to be visible.
Right. Does he leave his clothes on the bed, or does he leave his clothes in the bathroom? Or, he likes things a certain way and you like things a certain way. So those are things you didn't need to discuss.
Okay. What about this one? My spouse will meet all my relationship companionship needs. There's no need for any relationships, friendships outside of this relationship. Some people actually believe that, and you end up smothering the person.
Exactly, and we don't want to do that. We
You know what I'm
don't.
saying?
I think it's good for the man to have some friends, and it's also good, of course, married friends.
Same-sex friends.
Same-sex friend and married friends, and the woman should also have some friends. It's good to have a couples time, but it's also good time to have a part time.
Okay. Here's another expectation that people don't discuss, but they start thinking having a child will improve this relationship. Hey, we're not getting along very well, but if we have a child or 2 or 3, I bet that'll make things a lot better.
Well, they might think that, but it just adds on to the problem.
Exactly. All right, what about this? A lot of this is based on what you saw growing up. There are certain household responsibilities that men are, and that these are men's jobs and these are a woman's job.
Right.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, something like
It's like
that.
I get my whole singular and plural thing mixed up.
Right, but anyway, there are people, like when we got married, I expected you to do all the manly things, like be outside
go put gas in your car
and
and
wash
your
my
car.
car and do all that. We know.
Hey, I'm not against putting gas in
That's
the car
fine.
or washing the car, but I mean, it's not like you're washing it with a hand towel. She was going to the automated car wash. I didn't really see that as like a man's job.
Right, and I wanted you to fix everything around the house, And
I'm not
and
really
he's
much of a fixer.
He's not a fixer, but I'm the fixer. So
That's exactly
those
right.
roles
That's
are kind of
exactly right.
interchangeable. But it's living in an understanding way between you and your husband as it relates to
Here's what we want to leave
that
you with,
particular thing.
because we're almost out of time for this little video, this little vignette. Amos 3:3. Can 2 people walk together without agreeing on the direction?
Right.
Amos 3:3. And that's the whole thing about getting ready for marriage. You guys really want to be in agreement and having discussed
Yes,
what's important and also what's not important.
exactly.
All right, guys, thanks so much for listening. We'll see you the next time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your life. We really appreciate you listening. Please share this podcast with at least 3 people today, and remember to go to iTunes and give us your 5-star review. Your reviews and downloads make this show more visible and accessible to others. Also, we encourage you to visit our website at familymattersfirst.org for resources and helpful tips. If you have a situation needing personal or professional attention, there are a number of ways to schedule an individual session right on our website. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and send us your emails. We really enjoy reading your comments, and we encourage you to send suggestions for future show topics. You can email us at podcast@familymattersfirst.org. Stay encouraged. Continue in the fight to build mighty marriages, fantastic families, and prepared parents. Invite Christ in to strengthen your family and change your world.